Thank you. Okay, what's the name of that? It's Beyond the Seas. We go sailing. We should have a memory test every Sunday. And what song is that? Well, good morning. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Lansing. I'm Reverend Sharon Ketchum. So happy to welcome you here into our warm place where the first 100 people get free coffee. We put that up on Facebook. Sorry, those of you joining us online, I can't give you coffee, but if you're ever here, feel free to indulge. If you're with us for the first time, a special thank you and kudos for making it out into this incredible Michigan winter weather. Just love the Arctic. Our coffee bar is open during service and open seating. And I will say this for everybody, new or not, we all forget names, but we don't forget how we make each other feel. So just smile and ask yet one more time what the other person's name is. Here we go. We are a prayer ministry. So if you have any concerns or you have celebrations, our prayer box is over there. There's some pink slips, first names only. And online you can go onto our website. And our prayer team will pray with you for the next 30 days, and then it gets sent to Silent Unity for an additional 30 days of prayer. So you have a lot of support in whatever's going on in your life. Excuse me, let's affirm our mission statement together. We spiritually awaken to our oneness with God, with each other, and with all creation. This comes out of a vision where we see a world be so powerfully transformed with this shared spiritual awakening, this growth into understanding there's not a right and a wrong path, but honoring ourselves and our unique expressions of the divine, our unique journeys. One light, but many lamps. Let us affirm together. The enlightenment of the Buddha shines within us. The compassion of the Christ moves through us. The power of Jehovah strengthens and guards us. The presence of Allah surrounds and guides us. Wherever we are, the Tao is, and all is well.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
And as we settle in to that beautiful joint consciousness, we take on prayer for our neighbors. And first of all, for all you women here, do you realize we are just about to be equally recognized citizens of the United States with the passing of the Equal Rights Amendment? So President Biden declared that it has been passed. The 38th state passed it, which was the minimum requirements, Virginia, in 2020. So up until now, you may not have realized it, but women did not have equal rights to men, and this is for all genders. So, wow, brand new day, brand new world. And we're certainly holding in prayer the ceasefire in Israel and the release of hostages. We hold our friends in Ukraine, and also the world going through this TikTok change. It may be silly to think about social media, but it's very impactful. It impacts a lot of people, small businesses in the U.S. and stuff, and who knows how it goes, so we just hold it in the light for divine order and for safety, however that works out. Also, swearing-in ceremonies in Martin Luther King tomorrow. So big day in this world, remembering MLK and certainly that start of a new administration. So I invite you to join with me in prayer on this. In the spirit of this God's life assignment to be in love, we hold the people of LA, Ukraine, the Middle East, and the new leaders of the U.S. government in God's love. May they be supported and empowered in all blessed ways. Let's just take a moment to take that deep within us into the silence, into that realm where there is no separateness, no otherness. There is only one. We are one with the firefighters that continue to work in Los Angeles. We are one with those who are in grief over their loss. We are in one with the families in Ukraine, the families in Russia. We are one with the Palestinians, one with the Israelis. We are one. We are one. And we acknowledge that divine presence that connects us all in the absolute realm. So we claim that purpose of our life here to be in love, to be love, to express love, to do love in all things. And we claim this for our world. And so it is. Amen. Okay, a little discussion at your table. What is the hardest thing to let go of? And why is it hard to let go of it? This could be something tangible. It could be something intellectual. What is the hardest thing to let go of? What is the constipation of your flow?
That's one way to put it. Wow. I think it's just clutter, letting go of things.
I tried to do that Maria Kondo thing.
Yeah.
And I went down, okay, I'm only going to have 7 T-shirts.
Okay. Do they spark joy?
And then 7 short sleeve and 7 long sleeve.
Okay.
And then, well, I need certain colors to go with other things. And it's like, I realized it was like a fear of lack. That's what was hard to let go of it. I was so afraid that I wouldn't have the thing I needed.
Yeah.
But truth be known, I have items that stay in my drawer the full season that I haven't touched. And I put them away for the summer. I go, why am I keeping that? I might need it.
Wow.
I might need it.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know, we might need that again, and I think it is fear of lack. I mean,
Isn't that weird?
we don't want to take very many new things into the house because it's already full, and I know that you need to circulate, right?
Yes.
So some of the stuff needs to go out, so make room for something new. So what Jill and I do is we do experiences with each other.
That's nice. I
Yeah.
like that. Or edible.
There's that too. But we like to go to shows
Yep.
and stuff like that because it's a lasting memory. And we're at that stage where if we need something, we just go get it. You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I so understand that.
so what's the hardest thing for you to let go of?
I said
Like
things.
Things. Yeah, like we're on the same boat.
And
in
it's
the same
that whole
boat
thing
there.
about and friendships sometimes too.
Oh, yeah.
That aren't serving me. I can't. I don't want to let them go. I got to work at it. I got to make it work. Make it work.
Keep trying to force it.
Yeah. And it's just not. It's over. It
Yeah,
served its
so-
purpose.
For a reason, for a season.
Yeah.
That kind
Or a
of
lifetime.
thing. Right?
Yeah.
Should we sing our opening
Yeah.
song?
Let's come together.
Okay. Let's do our opening song. We come together. We don't have Austin to help us with the echo part, but I trust you all know your assignments.
Is anybody else here?
Hey, can somebody else
Is anybody else here that would like to be the echo leader?
If not, they know what to do. They're
Okay,
just
well, you know
stubborn.
what? Katz can do it. Katz is signing for us.
Okay, you
And
can sign the
so
echo.
the other is, ta-dam!
That'll work. That'll work. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite. In honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, Namaste, I bow to you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love.
Good morning. I love that. Good morning. I'm Barb Starling, your platform assistant for today. Thank you. Our daily word is inspired, reflecting the message in Genesis. God formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. Today we reflect on the clear vision, powerful words, and courageous actions of leaders, such as Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We appreciate how one person's example can inspire so many others to move beyond thoughts of limitation and focus on the possibilities for good that are always present. Inspiration can be thought of as the breath of God. Each of us is made in the image of likeness of the divine. We give thanks for people we have known whose vibrant faith and love, even in the most challenging circumstances, have inspired us. Guided by our divine gifts of imagination and zeal, we join with those building a world where each person lives freely and with joy. Let us affirm together, my words and actions inspire others. Tomorrow, as Sharon mentioned, is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. During the last 13 years of Dr. Martin Luther King's leadership of the modern American civil rights movement, from December 1955 until April 4th, 1968, African Americans achieved more genuine progress toward racial equality in America than the previous 350 years had produced. Dr. King is widely regarded as America's preeminent advocate of nonviolence and of the greatest nonviolent leaders in world history. At the age of 35, he was the youngest man to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. We've all been inspired by his words and actions, and I'll read some of those now. The time is always right to do what is right. Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. I like that. I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. And of course, I have a dream. Let us continue to be stirred by these inspired words as we each strive to dream of a world that works for all. And now it's my pleasure to welcome Linda Abar for some special music.
This is a song I wrote a long time ago. A little earlier than this time of year, I intended it and sang it at a burning bowl ceremony. So this is a meditation song. I invite you to close your eyes and inhale and exhale with those lyrics. I stand here right now in the weak winter sun. I feel the soft snow stand here with a quiet mind, heart wide open. I'm giving these gifts to you to set myself free. I will let you empty me and fill me again. I will let you empty me and fill me. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. I stand here with an empty mind, so wide open. I'll receive these gifts from you to set myself free. I trust you. I trust you. I will let you empty me and fill me again. I will let you empty me and fill me. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale.
Thank you. You know, even the snow was singing with you, Linda. There's little flakes falling off there. They were inhaling and exhaling with you. By the way, I forgot one group of people I really wanted to hold in prayer this morning, and that was those whose home is outside. As the swath of cold, the Arctic cold is coming down, think of those that don't have inside living conditions right now, and just, you know, hold them in our prayers that they might be guided to a space that will keep them safe and alive, especially during the evenings and wherever they can go during the days. And it's not just here in Lansing. There's a lot of homeless people. Homeless isn't quite right because they have a home, but it happens to be outside. They don't have shelter. So I know you'll have a little room left in your heart to hold that too. So we've been starting a series this year inspired by Jan Phillips' book, Stop Seeking and Start Finding. And she talks about us being spiritual evolutionaries. That, biologically we just evolve. Things happen and the body changes and evolves. But spiritually we need to be conscious of it. It doesn't just happen. You don't wake up one day and go, oh, I'm enlightened. No, it's conscious movement to do the work that is ours to do in this. So I think a lot of this is about unlearning so that we can remember. I will never tell you anything that you don't really know. I mean, you already know it, and you just go, oh yeah, of course. And we've been so taught to take it in and then regurgitate it, as opposed to listening to that inner voice and just expand upon what we know to be truth within us. So today, what would it take to own the affirmations, I am one, I am already whole. I'm already one, I'm already whole. It's not that we're imperfect, we are an original blessing. And to really own that truth of our identity, that we are one, we are already whole. Nothing we need to do, this is just the process of growing, if you will. So first couple of weeks, we started out in stillness with our white stone. We went into awakening last week. And I suggested that maybe this week a spiritual practice might be to have one spiritual practice you introduce into your life that would really help you remember you're part of the oneness. And the one that I got, which works really well, is just when I got up in the morning, it was that, all of, 5 seconds? and I can do it. You know? I don't have to wait for the house to be quiet, the dogs to be put out. I can just stand up there and just, you know, that breath, my goodness, everybody in the world has breathed the same breath that I have, you know, time before and time coming after. So whatever that is for you, consciously listening to music, not just conscious to the point that you're saying the words, but feeling it at the core of your being. So what happens when we do let go of things? Because that is the next step in this little spiral that we're going on. What happens when we let go? And, you know, as a community, we certainly had a lot of experience that. So right now, I really think about the Los Angeles fires, and it's life-changing loss. You know, I don't think anybody there was probably in a point that they would let go of everything they had. I know one time in my life, I had reached a point, it was 2011, and I just knew some change needed. And I took a driving sabbatical for 6 weeks and just slept in the back of my car, drove around, and I said, everything in my life is on the table. I'm not holding on to anything. And just let it go. And, you know, over the next 3 or 4 years, it was amazing all the things that fell off the table because I was willing to let go of it. But I was thinking about Los Angeles, and I'd lived in Los Angeles for 10 years, and let me tell you, for a lot of us, especially if you're in the entertainment business, it was like the dream place to go. I mean, everything happened in LA. That's the room where it happened. You just wanted to be there among all those people. And there's this vision of these iconic structures, the Hollywood sign, Grauman's Chinese, the Capitol building. It used to be Capitol Records, and it's built round like a record, you know, when they build it. And just all these structures, the hills and the studios out there. And to think of any of them being gone is unthinkable. You can't imagine it being gone. Maybe it was like in the States in 1812 when the White House caught on fire. You just couldn't imagine such a thing happening. We couldn't imagine it when a church burned down. Churches don't burn, they're holy spaces, they're protected. What do you mean it caught on fire? You know, it's just total disbelief. But when we have a fire, when we have that transformational experience, that all that our ego wants to hold on to, all that this is the way it's supposed to be wants to hold on to, it gives us the opportunity to heal and transform. When we let go, and all that we're left with is what matters, which is life, then we really are able to focus on what matters in our life. So, when we know what's important and what's simply window dressing, then what happens for us? What comes to the surface for us? If you think about it, what comes to the surface is ordinary people doing extraordinary things. There has never been a crisis that I know of in humanity where ordinary people didn't step up and do the most extraordinary things of reaching out and helping people. People they might have seen the day before, walking down the street and never would talk to them. Now all of a sudden they're carrying them or rushing into a burning house to help them out or whatever that thing might be. It's just amazing what our humanity can do when all the window dressing is taken away. When we don't worry about how we look or being on an appointment. Nobody in Los Angeles area right now, I don't think, has appointments. You know, there's no place they have to be at 9 o'clock Monday morning in so many of these places. So, yeah, think about it metaphysically for us. When we're willing to go through that kind of healing transformation where the dross is burned away, all that doesn't really matter is burned away, the ordinary part of us, the truth of us, gets to do absolutely extraordinary things. So in Jan Phillips's book, she goes through the day with these different types of ideas. And I was thinking today that if any of you have studied spiral dynamics, it tells us that when we grow, like in school we go very linear. Spiral dynamics says it's like going up a mountain. And so we circle the mountain, we go back to the beginning, and we do the same thing again, but we're at a little higher level. And so we think, I thought I dealt with this already. And you realize you have dealt with it at this level, and now you're dealing with it at another level and another level. So we keep going up the mountain, but in a spiral. What do you mean I gotta do this again? You know, I thought I finished with it. You did finish with that part, and now you've peeled away enough that you can, you know, go into the next part of it. So Huang Po was a Chinese monk a long time ago. He said, they who comprehend the truth of nothing to be attained. They who obtain the truth of nothing to be attained are already seated in the sanctuary where they will gain enlightenment. So as we start on this next trip, this next spiral dynamic in our own development, understanding that there's nothing we need to get. There's not a magic book to read, there's not a magic workshop to go to. There is nothing out there that we need to attain for ourselves, that we are whole. We are already whole. All we need to do is remember to let us see that perspective of ourselves. And I was thinking about when people go to testify in court, they go, I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. All along our spiritual journey, we've been told truths, but they often weren't the whole truth. They often weren't nothing but the truth. They had other things layered onto them. So, like, I came up in a faith community, a Methodist church, and what they told me was true. They told me about love and connecting with people, but it wasn't everything. It wasn't the whole truth yet. So really, when we're starting to become spiritual evolutionaries, being conscious of our own spiritual growth, that's what we're seeking for, that whole truth that is already within us. So think about it. What's the truth of this moment? And I would look at you. Right in this moment, everything is perfect. Right in this moment. Maybe you don't have a job to go to on Monday, but right in this moment, it's perfect. Maybe you've had a diagnosis of something yucky. Right in this moment, it's okay. Think about it. Right in this moment, there is nothing wrong. Everything is absolutely perfect in this moment. Letting go of jumping ahead. Letting go of jumping ahead. So as we continue this spiral, Dan has us going through the day with the different types of prayer. Dear Murty Murchie, he's an Irish priest. I wish I had a good Irish accent. He goes, mysticism is not about human abandonment into the arms of the divine. It's not about all of a sudden letting go of everything human about us. It's about the immersion in the divine mystery at the heart of creation. It's about not denying our human self, but it's immersing in this idea of oneness, of this idea of wholeness. There's a wonderful book by a Unity author, Jim Rosemergy, that says, even mystics have bills to pay. He used to say Gandhi, it cost a whole lot of money to keep Gandhi in poverty. Because, he would travel with his entourage and all the people and the food and stuff. Anyway, so understanding that it's not separate and apart. It's not our Sunday best and the rest of life. It's not our holy self and then our unholy self. It's really this continuum, this immersion into it in everything that we do. And Jen Phillips wrote this little poem in her book. She goes, leave the newspaper folded, the phone off the hook, the door to your prayer place closed to the world till you have taken the call from the one who speaks in silence. Isn't that just a beautiful idea? Don't do anything until you hear from that one who speaks in the silence. That oneness. So as we move through this evolution of our own spiritual growth, there's that dawning of the light, it's sunrise. And that picture up there, if you don't recognize it, that is Joseph Campbell. And if you haven't worked with Joseph Campbell's writings, he was just really instrumental in a big turning point for me. He says if you're going to act on the basis of what you know, you cannot just hold on to your knowledge. You have to translate it into a movement. It's one thing to know, it's another thing to do. That's why one of Unity's basic principles, it's not enough to know, to pray, to speak it. You need to act. You need to put feet to your prayers. You need to be the activity of the divine on earth. We are the ones we've been waiting for, that old saying. So if you think about it, religion is belief in an inherited set of doctrines. You join a religion, and then you're told what the truth is. Not necessarily the whole truth, but you're told all those things you're told are truth on a certain level. But then as spiritual evolutionary, our spiritual self, our faith, it's living our life in accordance with our commitments that come from the inside, that we all want to do the very best we can. None of us does less than we know how to do for the betterment. If we knew how to do better, we are compelled to do better. That's this act of faith moving into us. Another way of thinking about it is religion is the musical score, faith is the music. Or this one, religion is the menu, faith or spirituality is the meal. You see the difference from the knowing, the reading, having all the words, the right notes, to actually being the music, being the meal, bringing it into reality, bringing it into experience, bringing it into the continuum of our lives, not separate and apart. So as we move to the day, you may recognize this wonderful man, Tolle. He says that life will give you whatever experience is most helpful for the evolution of your consciousness. Darn it. How do you know that this is the experience you need? Because this is the experience you're having. I mean, especially if we have some resistance to the experience we're having, we definitely know that this is exactly what we needed in the moment. John Updike, in his writing, said that chaos is the local view of things working out in general. Okay, think about that for a moment. There's that wonderful song that from a distance, the whole world is blue and bright, whatever those words are, but we're in the middle of it, it seems chaotic. We can't make any sense of it. When it's right up to our face, all we see sometimes is the pain, the confusion, and that creates an illusion almost of a brick wall that we're never going to get through. From a distance, you see that it's a door. You see it's that next step of the mountain, that next spiraling, as we start letting go of this close perspective and this attachment to it, that this is the truth because it's so close to us and we can touch it, we can taste it, we can feel it. One lesson that has stayed with me for many, many years, I heard it out in Vancouver, and it was that life seems to just happen. And then as we start on this journey, we get it that life happens to us. We start taking it personal. You won't believe what life did to me this week. And then we start getting that life actually happens through us, that we're participants in it, until we finally get to that point that life happens as us. Those are those degrees of letting go of our attachment to the world, the human, by immersing our spiritual self into the human self, into everything that we do. So this mathematician from that 1662, he's a scientist in the wording of that day. He was also a Catholic priest. He goes, all of our misery stem from our inability to sit quietly in a room and do nothing. That's true. That drives me bonkers. Because my to-do list is talking to me. Oh my God, what day is it? Oh, you're kidding. I only have da-da-da to get this done, to sit in a room to do nothing. There's a story about this student who says to his teacher, are you sure there's not a better way to get to nirvana than sitting here? I'm bored. Teacher says, I think you better find a different destination. It is so hard as humans not to do something. And every part of our human life, doing something seems to help. We build, we walk, we just do things, we connect with people. We're always in this activity mode. And to be able to sit just in that stillness, whoa, hard, hard, hard. But you think about it, if we don't sit in the stillness, what would undergird our connection with spirit? How do we know we're connected in spirit? And silence doesn't have to be days. It can be 60 seconds. Sit at a stoplight and turn off the radio. Wow. It will seem like forever at first. And pretty soon, you'll love it. It becomes rich in that silence. So as we move through this process, Steve Fanning, he's an associate professor of history at the University of Chicago, and he said, mysticism is a union with the divine so close that all distinction between the mystic and the divine is obliterated. What a different way of saying oneness. That all distinction between the mystic, that spiritual evolutionary, and the divine is obliterated. There is no distinction. There is no difference, if you will. So what is a mystic? Jan, in her book, has this wonderful poem that's part of it here. Says, if you're looking for a mystic, look for someone with an apron on, with work boots and gloves. Look for someone who's pitching in, helping out. A mystic makes breakfast of the great beloved and all day long metabolizes love. A mystic makes breakfast of the great beloved and all day long metabolizes love. That word, metabolizing love, I just found so tangible for something that's so infinite and intangible. I understand metabolism, that we were running on love, that every cell in our body was metabolizing love, that our thoughts were formed by the chemicals in our body that are just the metabolism of love. What a wonderful way to understand ourselves as spiritual evolutionaries. Norman Friedman, I love these thinkers. He's an analyst, he's a strategist, but still they cannot ignore the idea of the divine, the idea of the infinite, the idea of the oneness. So whether you're a scientist or whether you're a theologian, the inspiration is still there, still the same. The absolute is not just in all things are the absolute. Now the absolute is a term that we often use in unity. We have the absolute and the relative. Relative is where we live, in a world where things are relative, near and far, warm and cold, warm and very cold, out there, short, tall. Everything is measured in connection with something else. It's all in relationship to something else. When we talk about the absolute, we're talking about beyond that three-dimensional or four-dimensional life that we live, depending on how many dimensions you want to count. It's about taking away all those differences, all those measurements, so there's only one. All things are the absolute. The absolute isn't something we're trying to obtain. It's something that we are already in. This is a picture of a rock out in Vancouver. It's called the Siwash Rock out in Vancouver. And it's one of those rock formations that's inspirational. You may have one around the world. Maybe you've been there, maybe you've seen pictures of it. And it becomes like that sanctuary for you to go, that when you get so caught up in the attainment process, when you get so caught up in the relativity of things, that will take you to the absolute just because of the beauty of it. That place where you can feel peace and alignment. On a beautiful summer day, sitting on a bench back there, that's kind of one of those places. That's a Siwash Rock, if you will. And sometimes we need something to help snap us out of it. Like cold water in our face, wake up, wake up. What are you thinking? And there's an exercise that was run with a very religious group of people, and they were asked for a week not to use the word God. Because the conversation often went like this: God caused this to happen. Oh, God called her back. That's why she died. God did this, God did that. And when you have to not use that word that's really sometimes just a write-off word, we can put it over there to that great puppet master in the sky, something away from us, some otherness. And when you can't say that, you have to start getting in touch with the truth, the whole truth, about what happened, what actually happened in the situation. It's really an interesting kind of exercise. And as we move on again, we're getting closer to the top of the mountain, which means we're getting closer back to the beginning again. Manly Hall, who is a bit of a questionable character, he got every rumor in the world and published it as truth. But he had some really interesting ideas. He said, humanity has outgrown its ancient policies and must bestow the new dispensation out of the hunger of its heart. That humanity had all these to-dos, all these rules. And really, in order to move forward, we have to start listening to the hunger of our heart. Isn't that interesting? Think about all the rules. That women weren't citizens, that weren't fully enabled citizens of the United States. They didn't have all the rights that the men did. We've got to start coming out of our hearts. So if you think about it, all around us, we see the relativity. We see the evil and the good. Evil meaning really atrocious errors, if you will. Outrage and delight. We see this whole gamut of the human experience, and what we're doing as spiritual evolutionaries is trying to find that space in the middle. That space where we can sit there and see it and go, ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. And it's all the one. It's the yin and yang of life. It may appear to be relative, but it's that absolute. It is all the absolute. So this idea of there's a hunger in our heart, that's why we find it so difficult to let go. We're hungry. We're hungry to get to that inner truth. We want to create, because we are the creative force. We are part of that creative force. And we're all creators, we're all artists. And an artist does not have to earn their living from whatever that art is. You know, be it dance, be it baking, be it painting, whatever that art is, it's about allowing that creativity to flow from you into that master expression of creation. So we're going to take a little time to feed our hungry heart as we go into a time of meditation. We're going to begin with living in the heart of God.
Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. Morning sun coming through in the trees, and the green leaves shimmer in the summer breeze. The songbird singing to the honeybees, living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. After the dazzle of day is done, the moon makes love to the setting sun. The stars come twinkling one by one, living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God.
I invite you to close your eyes if it's comfortable for you. And to practice that breath that Linda so elegantly sang about. Consciously breathing in and breathing out. breathing in and breathing out. Discovering that sacred place within us, that inspirational space, like the Siwash Rock in the Pacific. That special non-place within us, where there is peace and comfort and assurance. That place where our faith resides, not our religion. As we contemplate the idea of letting go, any resistance seems to be wrapped in some shade of fear. We may find ourselves in denial. We may find ourselves searching for a distraction. Anything but facing a fear. A fear that in truth, in whole truth, is imaginary. This is an infinite universe. There is no lack. This is an abundantly flowing, connected oneness. There is no room to fear, need. This is an experience of evolution. There is no fear of mistakes, for each mistake is that stepping stone, that step on a staircase where we cannot see the whole staircase. Each mistake leads us towards that light where there was previously only darkness. And most of all, as we move past that idea of fear or denial or distraction, we understand that there is nothing really to let go of, for we are one. What we're ultimately letting go of is our singular attachment to separateness. You're breathing in, breathing out. Allowing those illusions of division to dissolve away into the nothingness of which it came. And we find that that hunger in our heart is now free. Free to create without hindrance. Free to express the absolute in earthly terms. Free to be no thing and all things. For in truth, we live as the heart of God. And so it is.
Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God.
Thank you. Thank you, Greg. So, a spiritual practice that you might indulge in this week is letting go of one thing of which you are fearful of losing. You could write about it, you could talk about it, you can flush it down the toilet, put it in the fireplace, put it outside to freeze, whatever that might be. And you'll find out you didn't really let go of it after all. The part that matters still stays with you. And speaking of staying with us, Linda's still with us, and she has a fun song coming up here, a little mixture of mixing it up here.
First, I want to publicly thank the band for that first song. That was one of the most satisfying experiences I've had singing that song. Thank you for indulging me. All right, I wrote this one too. I don't know. It's about letting go. All my fears, they tie me down. Don't cling to the rock, just let it go. Struggle with my thoughts till I could drown. Float down the river, stay in the flow. Every time I let things be. Don't cling to the rock, just let it go. Trust is building, I am more free. Float down the river, stay in the flow. Free from the strain of controlling. Don't cling to the rock, just let it go. Now I know what serenity means. Float down the river, stay in the flow. I've been through all kinds of trouble many times before. The faster I can let it go, the sooner I'm back in the flow. When doubt, chaos, and sorrow pin me to the ground, remember I've been guided before. God is here now. Scary as this way may be, don't cling to the rock, just let it go. Clinging to the rock was too painful for me. Float down the river, stay in the flow. Using up my energy. Don't cling to the rock, just let it go. That I could be using creatively. Float down the river, stay in the flow. I've caused myself all kinds of trouble many times before. If I can truly let it go, I experience so much more. When all my troubled thoughts are spinning round, long, slow, deep breaths, God is here now. Intuition leads me to the next right thing. Don't cling to the rock, just let it go. Swoosh, just do it here, freedom ring. Float down the river, stay in the flow. Don't cling to the rock, just let it go. Don't cling to the rock, just let it go. Float down the river, stay in the flow. Float down the river, stay in the flow. Just cling to the rock, just let it go. Don't cling to the rock, just let it go. Float down the river, stay in the flow. Float down the river, stay in the flow.
Thank you, Linda. Now is the time we create a sacred circle of generosity. Sacred because we know that giving is a matter of the heart, not wealth. For those in person in our sanctuary, you can use the glass jar on your table to place your gifts of cash or checks. You can also use the QR code on the screen to offer your gifts through PayPal. Whether or not you are sharing of financial gifts this week, we invite you to affirm the sacred exchange by placing a hand over your heart. We bless our gifts as we share of our love and our treasure by affirming together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I praise, give thanks, and am glad. We create a circle of generosity by first thanking everyone for their continued loving support of Unity through many channels. Our circle grows with acts of gratitude for these many gifts by sharing of our gifts with others. A portion of our tithes is shared with local charitable organizations that inspire and bless us. If you have a favorite local charity who was not a recipient in 2024, nominate them to be one of our recipients for 2025. Nomination forms are available on the credenza, and there's a mailbox there to deposit your completed form. All nominations are due by next Sunday, January 26. We will vote on Sunday, February 16th. As a refresher, our 2024 congregants' choices included Share a Bike, Southside Community Kitchen, Planned Parenthood, The Fledge, City Rescue Mission, Helping Women Period, and Meta Peace. These organizations will be eligible to be nominated again in 2026. Let's continue to acknowledge our blessings by singing I'm So Grateful.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful.
To lead us in the blessing. There he is. Derek is going to lead us in the blessing of the gifts we received as a community.
Given in love, received in love, we dedicate these gifts to do the will and the work of Holy Spirit, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Derek.
Okay, here's your friendly reminder. We need workers for coffee or there won't be any. Okay, the new sign up is out from January through April, and we need workers to fix the coffee, or you can do cleanup, or you can do both. All is appreciated. Also, you'll find in the new bulletins, we are having the chili potluck February 16th, and there is a sign-up sheet that will be over there for the next few weeks. Enjoy.
Thank you. And if you're interested in classes and workshops that we offer at Unity, you are invited to join the education team as they plan for future Sunday adult learning time sessions and other classes. They will be meeting today at noon in the upper lodge. And for those of you who enjoy board games and cards, meet up at the square tables for our third Sunday Games Day. We are also looking at restarting our prayer chaplain program. So on Sunday, February 2nd, Reverend Grace Nicodemus will be holding an introductory meeting to explain the program and the training to anyone who may be interested in serving as a prayer chaplain. Prayer is a powerful tool, and beginning this Saturday, January 25th, there is a monthly mastermind group starting up, facilitated by Lisa Schmidt. The group will meet by Zoom on the last Saturday of every month. If you would like unconditional support for whatever you're working on in life, consider checking this out. And the new February Unity Pulse newsletters are on your tables, along with a copy of January's Pulse. Please take a copy with you for easy reference. You can also check Unity's website or sign up for the weekly e-news to keep current on what's happening. So let's create a consciousness of community as we sing I Choose Love, followed by the prayer of protection. Feel free to stand in place or to join the circle. A reminder to be respectful when taking someone else's hand.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace on the planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. I choose love. We choose love. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God is within us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.